Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat
who's here. And Shabbat Shalom, who's at home. We're so glad to hold you in our hearts. This week has been so hard for some of us. Certainly we're holding our brothers and sisters in Ukraine, those who are suffering and struggling. We're holding in our hearts and praying especially. You also notice that me and Rabbi Jenny don't have our masks on. This was a small change that's been made in our ongoing road to the new normal, so we can let our faces flow and let that lift up our prayer. And we're going to pray together on Shabbat. We're going to open up our hearts. This is the month of Adar, which is a time of joy. It's not easy to be happy right now. A lot of things in the world that are challenging. With some smiles of Shabbat, hopefully in our hearts and our souls, and lift them up. So we turn to page 18 in your Sidurim, this beautiful Sidurim, as we welcome the friend, the great friend of Shabbat, Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh. Ladonai, page 21. Shabbat invites us to sing a new song, a Shir Chadash. So whatever is your new song, we're closing the chapter on the week that has passed. And we're opening up to something new that is just arising on the inside. Shir Ladonai. Shir Hadash, Shir Ladonai, Kol on 21 with Yismechu Hashamayim. Maybe you got to look up into the sky this week to see the new moon of Adar, or maybe a beautiful sunset. I caught a couple really beautiful ones this week. But on Shabbat, we imagine that the heavens are dancing, they're joyful, and so we try to find a measure of joy from the week, even if it's from something small, and bring it with us into Shabbat. Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, So as we prepare for Lecha Dodi, to really bring in the fullness of Shabbat into our hearts, where we sing this song about welcoming in the Sabbath bride, and at the very end we'll stand, we'll rise, we'll face towards the back doors as we imagine Shabbat walking through the doors and into our hearts. I wanted to offer this kavanah, this intention, as we move into Shabbat. So many of you may know that on the Shabbat table, we have actually 2 chalot. So we're commanded to have 2 chalas. And the reason, we learn, is this idea that as the Israelites wandered through the wilderness, that God, and they had no other food but manna, which fed them, this magical food that came down from the skies and fed them, that on Friday, they were commanded to pick up 2. And they picked up 2 so that they would have enough on Shabbat, so that they wouldn't have to go out looking. And I think it's an incredibly, incredibly beautiful thing for us to remember that Shabbat is a time for us to practice that sense of having enough. That whatever we've gathered over the course of the week, especially on Friday, whatever that is, it's enough. And though Shabbat, there may be things happening in our lives or in the world that don't feel exactly perfect, there's enough there. There's enough blessing. There's enough sustenance. There's enough joy to help carry us through. And so that, I think, is the idea of Mishneh Lechem, of 2 challahs on the table. So we practice feeling that sense that we have enough, that we are enough, that there is enough to go around. And we do that with Lecha Dodi on page 26. Lecha Dodi Linat Kala Hene Shabbat Neka Vela Shamor Vezachor Veliboreh page 30.
לקראת גאלה בני שבת נקרא לך דודי לקראת גאלה בני שבת נקרא לך דודי לקראת ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ותד אדוני תריצי על ידי בן בצי ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי. We rise, Vicente. לקראת גאלה בני שבת נקבלה. בואי לשלום הדרך בלה גם בשמחה ובצולתו אמונה על סגולה בואי חלה שבת השגה לך דודי לקראת גאלה בני שבת נקבלה.
We continue with Baruch Hu, page 36. We thank God. We are here to pray together. Baruch Hu et Adonai mevorach.
Baruch Adonai Borach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam vaed.
May be seated.
We continue now on page 38 as we prepare for Shema Yisrael. Shema not only reminds us of the oneness of all life, the way in which we are inextricably connected, all living beings, the entire planet, but also to Shema, to listen. Through the week, we do a lot of talking, a lot of loud voices. On Shabbat, we practice listening, opening our hearts to hear that one beating heart. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
אהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננת בניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך
ושופך וקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו תבוא בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובישעריך. So we continue now with the Amidah, which is our standing silent prayer. You can follow along in your Siddur if you want with the central themes of the Amidah, which start on page 46. You can also just take a moment to close your eyes, to take some deep breaths, and just to open your heart to whatever prayers are there waiting for you. We continue on page 45, asking that God help us find the words that we need to hear. Adonai, Zivatai Tivtach, Ufi Agi, Tehilatecha. 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 Ufros aleinu sukkar, sukkar, shelomecha. Ufros aleinu sukkar, sukkar, shelomecha. So at this time, we invite you to say hello to someone that you don't know. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom, and we invite kids to come up on the bima. Maybe Rabbi Eric will walk around a little bit and pass around some juice for Kiddush. And actually, you don't have to be a little kid to have some juice for Kiddush.
Yes,
Everybody's
everybody
welcome.
can have. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you guys. So good to see you guys. Shabbat Shalom. And say Shabbat Shalom to someone you don't know. Ask them how their week was. Baby, just one. Baby, just one. Shabbat Shalom. Great to see you guys. Rabbi Keller says hi. I'm going to see him this week. In fact, I'm going to Florida. I am. I'm totally. He's so psyched to see you guys. What's up, guys? Shabbat Shalom. They're wonderful things about you. He speaks well about you. Who wants parents get something? You're allowed. You know what? You're good. Okay, you're good. Okay.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu Malchuni Leshalom Malachei HaShalom
Like the Stanley Cup. That was a great one. That was so cute. Everyone got it? Want a little more now? Yeah, you want a little more?
HaKadosh Baruch Hu
Oh, you're so special. You get double sweetness.
Leshalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malaim HaKadosh Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam.
borei peri agafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav
V'ratzavanu
Shabbat kodsho
Mi'ahava u'ratzon Higilanu zikaron l'maaseh bereishit Yihu yom tehila
Lemikra
Kodesh Zecher l'tzion Mitzrayim Ivanu v'charta Yotanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim V'shamat kodshecha V'yava u'ratzon Tanu
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim, to life, l'chaim.
L'chaim, everyone. You may be seated. At this time, we turn to the Kaddish prayer. On page 59, we invite all those who are in mourning, those observing a yard site, to rise as we thank God with Kaddish, page 59. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עלמי עלמיה.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי דקודשה
בריחו.
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו
אמן.
יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו
אמן.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat
everyone.
Shalom.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Those who are with us in the sanctuary, those who are joining us from afar, but you don't feel far to us. We feel you near. We're going to conclude tonight with Od Yavo. It's a prayer for peace. We feel that peace is not completely here yet, and it's our job to continue to work for that full peace that we seek. But each one of us can begin by working on the peace inside of here, the shalom, the shlemut, the wholeness that we can find, each one of us in our own hearts. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Ve'al
Shalom, salam, aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam, salam, shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. Please run for
There
Onek.
is
Okay.
Onek Shabbat out underneath the
Okay.
tent. Nash, drink, stay, schmooze. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Remember, in 2 weeks is Purim. Come to Purim in 2 weeks for fun. Shabbat shalom. Come join us outside. Shabbat shalom. Shalom.
Shabbat
And continue to
shalom.
introduce yourself. Some of you don't know. Meet some other people. Shabbat shalom. All right.
Yasher koach,
Yasher koach.
Spencer.
Kind of coffee house version. Shalom